Welcome back to Olympus Critics. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a like for the algorithm, that does help the channel grow. These are my thoughts of The Last Voyage of the Demeter. This was directed by Andrei Overdahl, if I'm pronouncing his last name right. This movie is starring Corey Hawkins, Liam Cunningham, Ashlyn Franchonzi, if I'm pronouncing her last name wrong, probably butchered it, and David Dasmalkian, which we've seen him from a couple of Marvel films and of course The Dark Knight. You name it, he's been in a lot of movies. But let's get to this, man. I enjoyed this movie. I'm a big vampire guy, so when I got the news that this movie was coming out with that trailer we got a couple of months ago, I was excited about it. And I gotta say, I am satisfied for what we got in this movie. I hope that somehow that they get a sequel to this, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen because the box office numbers doesn't look like this. It's on this movie side. It's only made $11 million for Universal, and this movie's on a $45 million budget. I do think they should have put this on a streaming service instead of putting this into the movie theaters. But other than that, I like what I got from this movie. It definitely had that dark tone that we saw in the trailers, and these people just didn't stand a chance against this guy, Dracula. Dracula he definitely had his way with them, picking them apart one by one. Nobody was safe, not even the young boy in this movie. I mean, he took him out like he was nothing. I thought he probably would have been one of the survivors of this story, but that didn't happen. I mean, Dracula, he wasn't holding back on anybody. Anybody was food to him. And I really did like the performance from Corey Hawkins and Liam Cunningham and Anna. That was a great little backstory we got. I wish we could have dived more into the village that she came from. I wish they definitely should have tapped into more of that, of how they was able to make a deal with this thing to get him to London to wreak havoc there. And towards the end, they kind of explain, what Corey Hawkins would be trying to do towards a sequel film of trying to fight Dracula and try to save lives, as many lives as he can, because they don't know what's about to happen. I really wish we could have got a sequel to this film, because it's just a lot of questions that need to be answered. Like I know a lot of people read the books and the novels. I didn't read them, but I just want more backstory of Dracula. What did he do to Anna's village? You just saw how much hurt it was in her eyes of what she'd been through, and towards the end, you got that heartfelt moment. Spoiler alert, with her and Clemens. All that they've been through on that boat. Clemens seeing all his shipmates get taken out one by one. Her, making a deal with this creature, and she was being used as food most of the time she was on that boat. And now, Clemens, he did help her by saving her life, and she was very fortunate for that. And she made sure she reciprocated that by saving his life from Dracula, which was an epic scene in my opinion when he came face to face with this creature. And what he said to him definitely made me want a sequel to them meeting up again, and how would he fight such a thing. But overall, I enjoyed this movie. I do recommend others watch it if they're big vampire fans. And man, it just sucks that they didn't put this on streaming instead of putting this in the movie theater, because the marketing was terrible. A lot of people didn't know this movie was coming out. But if they would have put it on streaming, on Peacock or whatever, what other streaming service they could have went with, I think it would have performed pretty good for a sequel film. Now that it's in the movie theaters, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But good film. I enjoyed it. I would say I enjoyed it. I wouldn't say it was one of my top vampire movies out there, but it was pretty good. It kept me entertained. But post comments, let me know what you guys think. Did you check this movie out? Would you want a sequel if they put it on streaming? But post comments, let me know what you guys think.